TOBAM is about being out of the box. Being out of the box very often consists into fighting habits. Even the most out-of-the-box visual identity becomes a habit after a few years. This is why, once again, we have decided to change our visual identity in order for it to continue convey this message of being out of the box. Why the name TOBAM? TOBAM stands for Think Out of the Box Asset Management. And in fact, thinking out of the box is our ambition. Our ambition consists into always trying to justify what we do by research and never by conventional wisdom. An illustration of that is our main strategy. Our main strategy consists into building diversified portfolio. In our mind, diversified portfolio is the right answer to the difficulty of forecasting. Very often in conventional wisdom, if you cannot forecast, you're advised to buy the market cap weighted portfolio. But market cap weighted portfolio are hugely biased. Therefore, when you buy the market cap weighted portfolio, you're abiding by its biases, and in a way, implicitly, you are being more bullish on the biases on which the market cap weighted portfolio is concentrated. Being out of the box is our ambition, and it is therefore one of the most structuring values of TOBAM. Why having a list of values? Because whenever I look at the past, I believe more and more that it's very difficult to design a strategy relying on forecasts. In fact, guess what? The future is very difficult to forecast. So how to run a company across many years, how to define a strategy without relying on forecasting? The answer has been inspired to me by Marcel Dassault. Marcel Dassault is maybe one of the greatest engineers of France, side by side with Gustave Eiffel. Marcel Dassault is the inventor of planes, the Mirage, the Mystère, the Falcon, the Rafale. And Marcel Dassault used to say that in order for a plane to be a good plane, it needs to be a beautiful plane. So the idea is to make TOBAM a beautiful company. I'm a mathematician, and very often you know that I say that the most important part of math are definitions. So the idea is to define beauty. To define beauty by its criteria. What are the criteria of beauty? What are the characteristics that we believe should be attached to TOBAM in order for us to continue to believe that TOBAM is an attractive company? Years after years, we have worked on those values, and now the number of values have stabilized to about 13 of them. And today we are going to focus on one of them, the Bourbaki spirit. Nicolas Bourbaki is a very famous French mathematician that has never existed. In the beginning of the 20th century, a group of mathematicians realized that the discussion, the dialogue between mathematicians across the globe was becoming more and more difficult because of the lack of clear definitions of the mathematical object they were talking about. So they decided to gather at a group, to call the group Nicolas Bourbaki, and in a way to rewrite mathematics. A way to describe the work of Bourbaki consists into saying that what they have tried to do is to build a consistent collection of definitions of all the mathematical objects that you need in order to rewrite the foundations of mathematics. The idea of the Bourbaki spirit, it is to precisely define every term we use. Very often, when a discussion is too long between two people at TOBAM, I tell them, check that you have the common definitions for the term you're using. If a discussion is too long in order to know whether solution A or solution B is the best solution, begin by defining what is best. What is the definition of best? In a way, the Bourbaki spirit is at the origin of TOBAM. What is the origin of TOBAM? The origin of TOBAM consists into realizing that everybody in the industry talks about diversification, but very funnily, diversification is not a well-defined concept. In our industry, we measure everything. We measure volatilities, we measure tracking errors, we measure duration, alpha, beta, gamma, theta, vega, rho, but there is no measurement for diversification. If you were able to measure diversification, you would be able to build the portfolio that maximizes diversification, that maximizes this measurement, and this portfolio would be the most diversified portfolio. As a conclusion, I would like to quote maybe the first sentence of a very, very famous book. In the beginning was the verb. Nouns, words. It's very important to understand that ideas, innovations are conveyed by words. In order for those ideas, for those innovations, and for those words to be powerful, you need to be precise in the way you use them, precise in their definitions.